So, Shadow,
No.
Ivy.
So, welcome back everyone to another exciting adventure on the moon, but maybe it's not a moon, but what are these strange things in the ground, and what were those lights, and everything is weird.
It's a really big satellite, and not in the planetary sense.
I was about to say.
I
Just
have a list of
do
Christmas crimes.
it.
I'm scared. It's a lot of crimes. Mm, we're all here. And Olin is. God, he's got to be thirsty.
Yeah.
They should have just left him out in the snow with his mouth open.
No.
So let's see. I think Vivian at the end was in the process of scanning that box before burying it. She was going to ask somebody a question, but I don't remember who she was going to ask. Because I have zero.
Zero retention ability.
At the moment, yeah, zero retention ability. Because I got like no sleep because I was up late and I got up early.
If
I've
only we
probably
had
got like
someone on the team that was taking notes.
Excuse me. Listen, not every campaign can have a Noro writing down for all your misdeeds.
Then everyone died.
the end. No.
Oh my god, Olin back.
So I assume Olin is back on the ship.
Olin is probably on the ship with the turtle, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think
That's
they,
the safest place for them.
yeah, I think they kept him safe. So yeah, scanning of box, and maybe I'll eventually think of what she was asking, or she had asked somebody or something. Yeah, didn't she ask? Didn't she ask John something? I don't know.
Did they?
Drawing a blank.
Oh, my.
Something about the Margite.
Yeah, it was Margite. I think that was what she was gonna ask. I think.
I
Brain
don't.
dry.
Oh yeah, he had mentioned that, and she was wondering what that was. I think. I think that's what it was.
The Margite are a problem. They're not sapient in the same sense as you and me. They don't communicate. They don't know anything other than sleep and eat. And they possess something that allows them to chew through war steel like it doesn't exist. And we're currently in a region of space where they are known to frequent. So it is a possibility that we could run into them, or precursors, or pirates, or unrecovered mantid hive queens. Anything could be out here.
I might put a stay on cutting that cable open then.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna leave that alone.
Actively drops the cable and stows their knife. Oh yeah, it's probably a good idea.
Like, you better not have that cable in your hands anymore. They fucking buried it.
You know, he uncovered a section of it, just like, I'm gonna cut it.
Vivian is going to bury it back.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That is fair.
You know the way in the cats bury things one paw at a time than the other. Just gonna up and all better. Pat, pat, pat.
Man. Just Raven kind of muttering to himself. Damn fixers. Fucking lying and bullshit. Dangerous ass.
I forgot to give you guys environment. There you go.
Environment.
Jade's gonna kind of pat Raven on the back. Oh, don't worry. Hey, maybe one day I'll take you to Terra. Show you around my neck of the woods, so to speak.
Oh, woods? I thought Terra was a was it a Mecropolis? I think what they call it.
It's an expression. Means I'll take you where I'm from. The part of place where I'm from.
Oh.
There's forest still, mostly in national preserves and park areas and exclusion zones.
Yeah, but I don't have enough money to live in one of those. Or buy one of those. That's for the rich hoity-toity types.
Yeah, if you want to see a tree, just knock on something that's nearby and kind of flexes under their knuckles. I mean, plenty of planets have plants on them.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But it might be a little hard to breathe for you.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it can't be that bad.
Depends on what part of Terra you go to. If you go
I
to
don't
Effect
know.
Form...
The atmospheric scrubbers have gotten pretty good.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I couldn't really tell the difference.
It's because you never go outside and touch grass.
That's because I'm too poor to touch grass. You know how much it costs to get into a preserve? I get 10 credits a day to live on.
A lot of credits.
Alright, so let's pick a direction before I start telling the pink golf ball joke again.
Okay, here. Jade's gonna step away from the group, and she's gonna toss her stick up in the air. We're gonna go wherever the stick points to.
It points back to the ship.
Nope. Nope, not that way. Okay, we're gonna
Meanwhile,
go...
Oli in the ship is just staring at the turtle. I bet you they're throwing a stick in the air, trying to see where they're going and land at the ship. I bet.
the opposite way it points. So that way.
The direction the cable doesn't go in.
So I believe you had suggested to the right. Were we going to split and go both directions, or did we just want to go one at a time?
It would cover more area if we went both directions at once, but I don't feel like splitting up right now. We're on an unfamiliar planet. We don't know what we're dealing with. We don't know what laid these lines, if they're even still around.
That sounds reasonable. Then we'll go to the right.
Yeah, I just wanted to get everyone's decision on it. If anybody had any other reasons to go any directions besides right.
Well, I was going to check and see if there was any difference in the line. Potentially one looked like it was a main or anything, but since it was all the same, it kind of all turns out the same anyway.
Oh, if we've got a ground scanny thing, we could scan the ground as we go and try to follow it.
Well, that's what we've been
What
doing.
you've been doing.
Let's do it more.
So I'll reach over, pat, pat.
Yeah.
Alrighty then, onward.
Yeah, Alonzi.
While they are being adventurous, Olin is going to the creation engine, poking it.
What's Olean poking the creation engine to do?
He's just poking it, seeing whatever, just randomly closing his eyes and seeing whatever pops out.
Oh no.
Just kind of buzzes at you a couple of times when you're poking at it.
You make a locate stupid people compass.
When you open your eyes to look at it again, it just has the words desist on the screen.
The poke desist. Poke desist.
What does this word mean? He blinks.
Does Olin not know what it means?
Nope.
Vivian is not there to tell him.
Does that mean keep poking? Do you like it? Poke.
The
Oh.
word changed to stop. The word changed to cease.
It finally cycles into a little pixelated character flipping you off. Just
It is snowing pretty good out here now.
Snowing.
Yes. Went from 80 degrees a couple days ago to snowing today.
Olin orders a cup of coffee.
Alright, it fabs up a cup of coffee for you.
He sips on the cup of coffee and pokes the screen again.
Are you poking anywhere in particular?
He's poking to see what food options there are.
Alright. As long as you have a reason to be poking the screen, it doesn't bitch at you. So, I mean, there's lots of food options here, like literally millions of recipes.
He then switches over to see if there's anything that helps locate people or organisms.
There are tracking beacons that you could print off, but they need to be attached to somebody to follow them.
Then he wonders, with all the things it can create a cat?
It cannot.
But
It can create a
robot?
purboy.
Yeah. Olin just makes it create a coat.
That's a good idea.
Alright, it gives you a thermal insulation coat.
And then he asks it to make him a backpack that doesn't have alcohol smell all over it.
It'll print off a small backpack.
And then he goes over to the weird turtle guy.
They seem to be reading something.
What you reading?
They'll fold over the book and look at the cover. The side effects of end-space transitions on biological matter.
Okay, that sounds completely fast. Olin is already walking away and heading outside. Don't leave the lights on.
The lights will shut off automatically as you leave the particular area of the ship. You're now standing on a beach. Looking around, it looks like all the snow is melted.
He looks at the thing he just got, the coat. Size, puts coat inside backpack. I hate your planets. He looks around to see if he sees anybody that he knows. If he doesn't, he just walks north.
Into the ocean.
Into the ocean, why not?
Vivian could give you several reasons.
The safest way to the ocean.
Okay, so you're at the shoreline where the waves are crashing against the sand. I'll give you ocean sound effects.
Doodly doo.
He looks at this ocean. He looks at this sand.
Ref.
So they tell me where they were going, or did they just leave? This is an ocean.
It is.
Maybe I should
yeah,
get
it
a
is.
fishing rod. Maybe I should just fish for an hour and a half.
Fishing would be an interesting use of your time.
Comfy. Relax, if you would.
Well, seeing as this beach isn't far away from where we parked, apparently.
Yeah, they're pretty much parked on the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just gonna see if the creation engine can make him a fishing pole that's pretty good. You don't know what's inside there at all.
A creation engine asks if you want a fly rod, a jig rod, a crappie rod, a crank rod, a trolling rod.
A rod.
He says he wants one that can catch giant fish.
A trolling rod, probably.
He gets that. He has no idea what that is, but he'll say yeah. Yeah.
It's those fucking thick ones that you see at the fucking store. The ones that are like as thick around at the base as like your wrist.
All right. Now he goes outside. Wait, no.
You're
Before he
gonna
goes
need some
outside, he needs
tackle,
the thing
or
to.
at least bait.
Yeah, I need all those stuff.
Alright,
He's
I'm gonna
like,
throw an
wait.
empty line into the water. Let's go.
Let's see what happens. Yeah.
He doesn't know what kind of fish or any kind of information about the area, so he's just gonna get random fishing lures. And since this thing doesn't seem to make, since he can't make a cat, he doesn't think it can make a night crawlers or anything. So he's just gonna see if he can catch a fish and use that as the other bait next time.
I could probably make artificial bait.
Alright, going off of your last print being a trolling fishing implement, it's going to assume that you're going to be dragging it through the water, and it's going to give you spinners and foam baits and silicone octopi baits, stuff like that.
Then he needs something to hold all the fish in.
A basket.
Now, Olin, his job right now is to fish. He will fish.
I suppose that's a good way to get some specimens.
Yeah.
I mean, in a lot of games, when you fish, you get the rarest item in the game, so.
If this works, I'm gonna be mad.
Fishing.
I would be too, because it would feel kind of just shoehorned in at the last moment.
I mean, let's be honest here. I mean, how much more of most planets, most of its organisms are actually sea creatures rather than land.
Huh, yes, with certainty, you can totally say that having never seen a single one.
I have seen nothing.
Exactly.
Yes, but you haven't
Apparently.
seen everything yet either.
That little gremlin has seen way more than anyone else. Then again, he's also been out there. Innovative. And there's the giant trail of sticks, but I didn't bother with that or anything. Just gotta ignore that.
Olin's just gonna throw his line out and see what happens.
Alright, Olin's fishing. Collecting some data on species.
Finch.
Back in the forest, I really wish I had a trees rustling sound that wasn't copywritten.
How do you copyright nature?
Uh, depends if it
It's not.
gets used in a different work or not.
Also, you got to think that just because it sounds like nature doesn't mean they use nature to make the sound.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. A lot of times because if you want a clear sample, you have to take it to like a quiet room.
Yeah, recording booth or sound booth or something.
There are recordings where someone just took a microphone out into the world and got a sample, but that's usually like cluttered up with birds or dogs or people or
Or
cars, airplanes.
Yeah, that's true. It's expensive to go places where those things don't exist.
Yeah. There's a lot of sound effects that are just in the public domain, which are completely free to use, which is what I do.
Hmm.
But yeah, all of the leaves rustling basically comes back as just a flat line on the audio curve. There's nothing there. I found like 2 that actually have any audio. Okay, so you guys are walking along in the forest. The wind is picking up speed again. It's a little stronger now. The temperature is rising. It's sitting around 65 degrees. And you guys follow the cable until you get back to that spring area where all of the molten mollusks were.
Oh, nice.
Well, this is interesting.
Yes, this is where Raven landed after the window.
This place looks a lot nicer when you're not falling out of the sky.
Hey, Raven, could you jump for me real quick?
Um,
Not
yeah,
super high, probably.
how much of a jump? Because you're gonna have to come find me if I do a full jump.
The captain looks up into the sky. About how high you went last time.
What did I do to you, man? I will, but why?
I have a theory. And
Oh,
he'll
God.
reach into one of his satchels and hand you the end of a rope. Here.
Uh, grab the rope and tie it around his waist. All right, fine. Here's a jump. He'll kind of squat down nice and low, get ready to do a flap and a jump.
Alright, give me 2
Uh,
physicality rolls.
First is a 39, second is a 78.
Yep, and yep. Alright, so you launch yourself up into the air, passing through the first high-speed band up into a slower, kind of tumultuous band where the wind is kind of shifting around. And then you hit a second high-speed band, which is the third layer, and you kind of get blown around in a circle. You don't really go anywhere like last time. And as gravity pulls you down into the next layer, it's almost like hitting turbulence. You just kind of drop, and then the second layer catches you and makes you tumble.
Yeah, I.
Jade's
He's
gonna,
gonna be all wound up like a yo-yo on that string.
Jade is going to attempt to catch the burb.
The captain will help.
The ball of feather and rope, you mean? There's just like a beak sticking out here, a leg sticking out where an arm should be, all kinds of foobar.
Yes, scrub the mission. Everything's foobar.
What'd you get, Jade?
What roll do I need to make? Is that a physicality?
His or Dex?
Okay, I'm gonna do that. Box. I thought I had this pulled up already. But nope, dumbass me accidentally hit the X button. Yeah, I'll make it as a. I'll make it as a Dex. Well, shit, 26.
That'll be enough. So the captain takes the brunt of the fall, and then you help line Raven up so that they're feet first on the ground.
Eh.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
What do you think?
Well, seeing as this is the only freshwater pool in the area, and there's no obvious sources, and I don't see any spring, this is a spot where the atmosphere makes a pocket, and it just dumps all the moisture right here.
Mm-hmm.
That's why whatever these are here. Fresh nutrients to munch on. Simple compounds, filtered by evaporation.
Okay, next time I'm gonna be a kite for somebody, I need to know what I'm getting into. At least what you think I'm getting into.
Did you see anything while you were up there?
Aside from my ass randomly getting forced in front of my face because of the wind shear, oh, not really. I do apologize. If I could have stayed stable, maybe, but.
Well, if you weren't able to stay any more stable than that, then drones are out of the question. This
Well,
place is
it
bothering
might.
me. It doesn't feel natural.
Feels weird.
Curated.
You don't just make a hole in the atmosphere like that.
Maybe it's just crazy idea with another celestial body passing by it with frequency. It just might have worn a hole through something. Like a big rock hitting a small rock.
Maybe. I don't know a whole lot
don't know.
about atmospheric dynamics, but I would at least expect the hole to be bigger than that.
Maybe this is where the planets are closest when they're by each other.
Oh,
Maybe.
I remember reading something about an old, really old Terran movie where two planets are really close to each other and the gravity wells kind of like made a weird stratified upside down, upside right society thing. Maybe it's something like that. Is it just a vacation world or something?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
And
What the hell is that?
Raven, stop playing with the clasp.
Oh,
Also, I sent you something, Derek.
let's see exactly how big the hole is. Or small. I don't know what the EM scanner would tell him. I'm not a rocket scientist.
The magnetoflex scanner, it can't see the hole in the atmosphere.
We're not. There are some fundamentals about how planets work that I am just going to let slide in that statement. We didn't physically see a hole in our atmosphere or our ozone layer. I'm just saying, radar and
I am aware. I am telling you that even though there is very obviously a hole that is depositing moisture in this particular spot, the scanner tool that you have isn't able to actually see anything of the sort. It just looks like normal magnetic fields in this area. If this was natural, then you would see a hole with the magnetic fields.
Hmm.
this feels artificial.
A lot of these things feel artificial. And Jade's gonna help Raven untangle from the rope.
The captain will kind of scratch his head. Has anyone seen any cameras yet?
No.
I mean, Zitron has one.
I assume you mean cameras that don't belong to us.
Yeah. This is just a little bit too perfect.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen any. At least, not that I would recognize.
Ooh. Based on Raven's background, they might have a trick for finding camera lenses.
I'll be back.
So
Alright.
Raven, once untangled, kind of holds up the wingy. You know, you will say due to previous occupational experience, if you use a camera that sees only in infrared and then shine an ultraviolet light at things, yes, I know it's a weird combination, but if you shine it around and look carefully, you should be able to see even the most well hidden of camera lenses, assuming they use lenses and not a weird sensor of nanites or something.
Well, that's probably a good shout. The cable dips into the ground here, so wherever it's going probably has some way to access it. Cameras are a pretty common security feature in any sort of underground bases that I'm aware of.
Oh, then we'll head back to the ship, and I'll make us a bunch of infrared goggles and UV illuminators. I think that's what I heard Terran call them. Don't know why they're using UV. I thought infrared was the better one. Oh, and Jade's drooling. Okay, I'll ask her later, but Raven's gonna kind of start bounding off back to the ship.
I'll stay here with Jade and anyone else that wants to stick around and help me look.
I'll help you look.
Alright, I'm gonna need a perception check.
Okie dokie.
Ducky.
Oh, okay. Perception has a +1, and I got, if I go over the right thing, 53, so grand total of 54.
Ah, that is a fail.
Oh. So she is finding anything at the moment. And depending on how much time it takes for him to search or to get things printed out, she will continue searching.
Every check is about 15 minutes. It takes about a half hour to get to the ship, so that's 2 searches.
Okie dokie. Let's see. This.
Oh no, Raven's gonna have to argue with the creation, and he's like, "No, I want it attached. I don't want it separate."
Alright, so I got a 93 plus 1 is going to be 94.
Alright, that's actually gonna be enough.
I had a feeling it might be.
Yeah, aside from rolling a 99,
Nope, you managed to fail. What?
uh, so what at first appears to be a short flowering bud of some variety, on closer inspection is actually stiffer than you expect, and upon peeling back one of the bud petals, you find a small microphone. It's got one of those foam things on it to keep the wind
Oh,
out.
one of the wind canceling things.
Yeah, one of the muffles.
Yeah.
Forget what they're actually called.
I forget. I know I've heard it somewhere or seen it somewhere.
I know when it's on a stick, it's called a boom, but
Well, yeah, that's a boom mic is different. Anyway,
Listen to me momentarily. I might know the answer. But I did not hear the question.
whatever the fluffy thing on microphones is that cancels the wind.
That's
Anyway,
called pop filter.
that's what that is.
I
Yep,
thought
it keeps the
pop
pop of
filters.
saliva and stuff off of from your face from
That's
screwing
a
with the
little
recording.
screen thing, though, isn't it?
I
Yeah,
thought pop
you can have-
filters were like a flat disc that you put in front
Yeah,
of it
they
because
have
you
a
suck
little
at audio management.
What I'm saying
But-
is you can have good pop filters or you can have the fuzzy ones, which are very cheap but yet effective. It can also be a windscreen.
Well. Anyway,
in
it's doing
any
its
case,
job.
she finds one of those, and she will, without saying anything, she will give a wave toward the captain and then point directly at it.
Captain will kind of cock an eyebrow as he's picking up a couple of rocks from the water's surface, kind of checking under them. Literally searching under rocks.
Hey, you never know.
No stone unturned. He'll trot over and kind of look at it. Yes, Vivian, that's a very pretty flower. He'll very clearly have noticed the microphone and give them a nod and a little thumbs up and look around a little bit more. What's Citra doing?
Oh, shit, I don't know what's going on. I left to go get me some food and take a piss that I needed to pee. About,
Vivian found a microphone hidden in a flower bud.
oh, good for them. Probably the same thing he was doing. Zoning out while trying to use the scanner. Which apparently, despite having warp technology, can't do more than a laptop with a fucking piece of software. So,
Grumpy Zitron noises.
The Terrans seem to have this philosophy of
yeah.
a tool for a job.
yes, of course. I feel that's
Dedicate
not
all of the
doing the
processing
specific
power.
thing that it's meant for.
A hammer for nails and nothing else.
It has a head the size of the nail head.
Exactly the size of a nail.
Get good or get a broken finger, bitch.
I'm back.
Oh my god, Terran carpenters would be incredibly efficient. Just lay the nail one hit.
This is what nail guns are for.
That is what nail guns are for.
Fucking modern carpenters just walking up the side of a roof with the nail gun just pressed to the wood, not even lifting it, just tick, 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 tick.
They make it hop. I actually heard a carpenter accidentally try quadruple fire the other day. I'm just like, boom! What the fuck? Just hear like soft laughing from like a bunch of people far away. It's like, oh my god.
Like, fucking dumbass. Did you know you can actually accidentally double tap a 500 Smith & Wesson?
Yeah, and it almost takes your face off.
Yeah.
You know how I know?
Did
You
you
did
do it?
Because my mom did it, and I was standing right beside her, and the gun was
Ooh.
almost pointing at me.
It's one of those, what just happened? It was too fast,
Like-
whatever it was.
It's like,
You don't get to shoot this anymore. 38 only from now on.
22 rounds from now on.
no, 17 HMR only. Single shot, 17 HMR.
That is a hate cartridge.
It's,
22 rounds are like a hate crime. It's like trying to shoot someone with a BB gun.
no, that's what the 17 is. They're smaller and faster than a 22.
Just as a point of reference, 22s actually don't hit as hard as 17 HMR.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the law of small.
It's smooth but quick. That's why Raven wants the speedy legs.
Bet you a buck that a 22 Hornet will hit harder than a 17 HMR.
Yeah, but that's-
Hornet is that's different than a LR, which is the standard.
Yeah. That's a different cartridge, though.
Oh look,
22
Raven's
Hornet
at the
is-
ship.
Ah, yes.
Look me in the
Bird is.
fucking eyes and tell me that a 22 Hornet isn't a 22.
It's not a 22 long rifle, which is what everyone talks about when they say 22.
I
Unless
actually
otherwise
usually hear
specified, it is
22
22
short.
long rifle. No, it's 22 long rifle. 22 short was made after long rifle.
I grew up hearing 22 short in reference to a tiny little 22 short chambered pistol that my brother
Yes.
was given for his
They-
14th. You know what? Never mind. Never mind. I'm
The
just
22 is just the caliber. Any prefix or anything after that changes what its actual output is going to be.
Yeah. Moving on. What do?
Well, Raven's at the ship now. They can see Olyan has stopped drooling and is instead fishing. Maybe they got hungry.
Just bounding by. Hey, Odin, how's it going? Not even waiting
I
for a
will
response.
catch the
Already back in the
greatest
lift.
fish in the world.
That's nice. Don't die. The rocks are
I
poisonous.
will create a utopia of fish!
Hmm. Raven will remember this.
I think the drooling is starting to get to them.
Raven, I think we need to drink some water, bud.
But he kind of bounds up the lift, rides it up. Oh, according to this rule, they stumble a little bit because back to normal gravity.
Hurt?
Bounding.
Oh God, my leggies.
Oh god, everything feels heavy.
Okay. They kind of briskly walk walk their way down to the creation engine. Queue up. Okay, I need infrared scanner. And oh no, I was wrong. I told them I need them to have an infrared illuminator. Aha! I remembered. Let's see. Infrared low zoom optic search.
Alright, it's got a couple of models for that.
Oh. Let's see. What are the distinguishings like between the couple? Like, is one
Well,
like a gun
obviously you
scope or
have
a
the
handheld?
different number of eyes. If you're doing the flip-down binocular style. They have scope mounted. And they have the monocular handheld version.
Ah, that one. It's the most accessible. You're gonna boop that one. And is there a modify option for it?
There is not. This is a secure blueprint. You also get a warning that materials required for this product will deplete limited resources.
Maybe only make a couple of them. How much of this limited resources will making, say, 3 of these deplete? Dangerous amount or negligible?
Not a lot, but the VI does tell you that, like, they only have a pound of the stuff. It's not something that they could just tell the machines to make more of. They gotta go and find some.
Okay. Well, I'll only make 2 then. 2 handheld monocular infrared viewfinders.
Alright, it gets fabbed up relatively quickly.
Cool.
It pops out of the nano forge and, it's still warm when you go to pick it up.
One of these days, I will learn how this works. Okay. Now they'll step back over to the screen. Now I need some ratcheting polymer restraints. Zip ties. Let me see. Do you have any zip ties, or is that a brand name you're not allowed to use?
So that is a brand name, but because it's used in popular language so often, they've lost the rights to it.
That's unfortunate.
No, that's literally how that works. That's why Google always gets pissy when they have a commercial or like a show that's moderately popular that says, "Oh, just Google it." Actually, you're supposed to say, "I'm going to use the search engine Google.com." I was like, "Fuck off, Google. Nobody's gonna say that."
Just in the background. Actually, shut face.
Wow, it is really snowing.
Bird is going to print up a total of 4 zip ties.
All right. You got some goodly sized zip ties here. These things are like an inch thick.
Tastes good. Those are,
Heavy
Chonk.
duty.
these things are going to be so satisfying to ratchet down on things.
It's gonna sound like a Beyblade ripping it into position.
Fuck yes. Okay. So go grab the zip ties. It's like, I didn't know they made them like this. Okay. And now 2 infrared illuminators.
It definitely wasn't on the list of sizes available. You feel like the VI made it specifically so that you could use them with your tiny little dingy hands.
Less than dexterous,
with this.
3-fingered hands.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna print up 2 of the illuminators next.
All right. No issues with that. Pretty simple
Perfect.
materials there.
I'm going to take and assemble, and by assemble I mean crudely zip tie one of the illuminators to each one of the viewfinders, and then begin their trek back. Just stopping, or just kind of waving to Olin as they bound by, getting back in the low gravity. Don't die! I mean it! I have to talk to Jade about that, 'cause I was the last one to see you. Oh,
Clearly too focused on fishing.
it's a very
Fish!
important task. Yep, no,
There it is.
just continues bounding back, gliding every once and again.
This
Gliding.
fish shall be mine, and I shall be its owner, and then the world will know that I collected the fish.
We might need to get a psych profile done on that rabbit at some point.
I think it would probably be a good idea to upload the Metabot with some psychology programs. Just a thought.
This fish is your fish. This fish is my fish.
Raven bounds a little more forward than up. It's like, oh god, he's losing it.
You had it together in the first place?
Well, not better than now.
I don't know about that.
Oh, he's probably just enjoying his vacation.
You got Raven over there going, Vivian, teach me your gnomes.
The feathery bits make it hard to fall through the atmosphere.
Okay, so we got 2 more rounds until Raven gets back to the group. What would you guys like to do?
Fish.
Yes, we know that you're fishing. You still haven't caught anything.
Jade is gonna find while they're walking, she's gonna see if there's any rocks and use her stick to kind of like overturn them, see if there's any like bugs or anything under them.
Vivian is going to see if that microphone connects to the cable that they had come across. Probably with the help of the captain's little scanning device thing.
Okay, so first thing, overturning rocks doesn't always reveal bugs, but occasionally you'll see this like bright purple and spiked millipede. It almost looks fuzzy before it digs itself back into the ground. Or you'll see like little black, almost like roly-polies just spring off away from where you overturned the rock.
Just,
Yeah, they like do this motion where they bite down into the dirt and arch their back real far, and then when they let go, they just go sailing.
Oh no, tiny bug friends, come back. I won't hurt you, I swear.
She's like, let me scan you!
Come here so I can put you in the deatomizer.
Well, I rolled for it, and I know how Raven's going to make his entrance.
How?
Nice.
Face first
You
on
will
the
see.
ground.
No, you'll see. I know how he's going to do it. I just need to see if the rolls will allow him to do it.
And let's see. Vivian is checking for wires. The scan tool that the captain is using doesn't pick up any wires coming out from where this microphone is, but he does like kneel down and brush aside some of the leaves underneath, and there does appear to be a fiber optic cable coming out of the bottom of where this thing is planted in the earth.
Well, Vivian will carefully and quietly, she's going to attempt to follow this cable. Like lightly brushing dirt and stuff aside. She's shuffling her way along, seeing where it goes.
Alright, well, it takes a little more effort than just brushing the leaves aside, as it does get buried down in the earth as it goes into, like, a tube. But it's not that deep in the earth. You can, like, take a handful of dirt out and toss it. And you can,
She's going to do that.
yeah.
Once again, using those big front paws of hers, because they're right there anyway.
Reason I'm using my big paws. The cable is underground. They're right there.
Exactly. They're right there. They'll work well enough. Plus, it keeps her hands clean for other things.
Exactly.
Big brain kid.
The ocean is right there. Okay, following the cable along. You get about halfway across the clearing when Raven shows up.
Raven's going to go for a superhero landing because it's that whole, like, was it one knee and one fist in the dirt?
Yeah. The one that's really bad for your knees.
It's lower gravity, so it can't be too bad.
Yeah, it's super low gravity, so he's gonna. I imagine he's going to land like that and bounce like a ball. Dying ball.
Okay, that'd be a dex.
That would be a dexterity, yeah.
Okay, so that's gonna be 70, relatively high.
That is just barely a success. So you go to do the landing, and you're doing it about the speed that you saw in like those old archival Terran movies, but since the gravity's planet is lower, you know, you get the feeling that you probably should have done this a little slower when you like punch the ground and end up knocking yourself into the air a few inches before skidding to a stop.
Just oh my shit! No! Ha! Stop the landing!
Jade. Nerd.
What? Shut up! It's cool.
It is cool, but still, nerd.
No, fine. No illuminator for you.
It's fine. I got my stick.
Probably the most petty fucking thing I've heard all year. They calling someone a nerd. And also,
Well.
Jade, I want to learn magic and use a plasma pistol.
You're a walking boob-shaped conundrum. But
Did
Inner
we already have one of those?
She does. Jade, the inner machinations of my mind are an enigma.
The inner matriculations of my mind are an enigma.
Meanwhile, Zitron's the only one logically using the technology at hand by looking at the ground.
Oh, hey, there's an idea.
Yeah, gonna kind of bound over to the captain.
No shit.
Here, got you a thing.
I've played Mass Effect. I know what the Omni tool can do. You can't hide your wires from me, pretty man.
I have not played Mass Effect. I don't know what an Omni tool does.
It's literally just essentially omni-tooled because once technology hit the singularity of handhelds, they took every possible scanner and it's a Swiss Army tool beyond belief because it literally has micro manufactories in it that can make things you need. It can run programs, it can make calls, it can hack, and it can be used to make things like shields or weapons using the micro manufactories, but they're one-time use.
Sounds like a MacGuffin.
It literally
You're a
has no
MacGuffin.
use in the story other than it's there for like talking to people and looting boxes from locations by breaking into their seals and basically illegally hacking the software so you can be a loot goblin. But sure,
Sounds like a plot device.
Sounds like the developers didn't want to create a tool for every situation and have it clutter up your menu.
But they
Well,
did.
that's
It's called the Omni tool.
it's literally you don't even see it unless you use it because it's when you get an Omni tool, it's embedded into your arm.
Ow.
It is pretty fucking cool. They are a really cool piece of tech. But
So wait, it's embedded in your arm, but the manufactories are only one-time use?
I think
It's
the item
because what it does is, well, okay, the old ones are embedded in your arm. I think the new ones that actually have the the micro factories. The reason it is because it uses essentially hard light, and you can only have so much hard light make stuff before you run out of hard light for the tool.
Oh, okay.
It's really left obscure. Mostly because people were more interested in finding their alien waifus than actually like, how does the Omni tool work? It works. Man, it's hot and it's ready.
Alright, so you point the flux detector down at the ground and oh boy, you don't even have to make a roll for that. You can actually make out the outlines of several large structures underground.
This is one of those where he's reaching back and just trying to grab at someone.
Just like reaching for the nearest leg. Hey.
Refusing to look away because I know how, in his head, I know how this works. I look away and then you stop existing.
Quantum base.
oh my no, bad.
Jade, Vivian, and/or Captain, someone place an appendage of your body in my hand and then pull yourself to me.
Literally everyone outside of 20 feet away, just groping in the air.
Someone!
Walk over to Zitrun and place their finger in his hand.
Oh, thank God. I was so scared for a second. I was so scared of a fucking one of those damn fucking moments out of anime where it's like idly groping while not paying attention, and then always boom. That's a couple of them where it's face.
The face is funnier, TBH.
Yeah, to me, I think grabbing the face is funnier.
I will never not forget the day that Ichigo disrespected Aizen by grabbing him in the face mid monologue and carrying him off like a bad child.
Just bad bitch. Here. You get to go in the forever box.
Alright. Alright. Zitrun will slowly pull Jade over. Very slowly. And it's kind of like an iron grip on the finger. And then they don't even do much more than kind of scoot only half of their face out in front of it so they can still stare at it. And then reach blindly trying to grab Jade's face and or head and put it beside theirs so they can see.
Jade will follow the motion and put face where Zitrun wants.
No, just slowly hands off the little scanner to Jade and then walks off to find Captain.
Jade is gonna look at the thing.
In the viewport of the scanner, there are several structures, a couple of miles underground.
I knew it. Jade is gonna stare at the thing.
Just kind of from off to the side, there's just a beak. Just, what's going on?
It's just like a beak comes into view.
If you got those thingies, one of these
The
viewfinder.
Grim Reaper. I'm sorry.
If you got one of those viewfinder thingies, look there. I see buildings, or at least structures.
I don't think I can dig that far.
How much does the
Wait.
captain weigh?
Like 300 something pounds.
Awesome. I'm gonna roll for physicality.
Okay.
Well, on this
I
planet,
got a 93 plus 1, 94.
I think on this planet, any of them could lift any of the others.
Yeah.
Because they
44.
weigh like, oh, what, a quarter of what they normally would? Or, no, more like a fifth.
You don't weigh a whole lot. So, Zitrun is just walking over to the captain and picking them up.
Yep.
Yeah, so if he weighs 300 something pounds, that's closer to like 60 something pounds.
Yeah. Hey Zitrun, did you oh, okay.
I imagine he's carrying him upside down on his back, just like carrying like baby. Just like, we're going over here.
No. Y'all ever see that? Y'all ever see the images of the zookeepers carrying full-grown lions when they're asleep or just they refuse to move?
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah.
the underarm carry.
Yeah, pretty much. Just like no, they're carrying them around their waist to be as comfortable as possible, but it's just they're just kind of leaned out beside them so they don't trip as they walk over and slowly set the captain back down beside Jade and now Raven, I guess.
Captain, is that you?
Yeah, what are we looking at?
Structures. Looks like a few miles underground. Zitron found them.
How the hell are you gonna range find? You don't have a brain.
I don't know how far they are. I'm only going to go with what has been said, but I know I can't dig that.
It's just an estimate.
Well, maybe they're really small structures and they look like they're far away.
Or maybe I've done this a few times in the military and I've learned to guesstimate distances.
No, you don't know.
Ah, I see a word I hate
What?
for some
Guesstimate?
reason.
Okay, Jade, since you likely do actually have some amount of range finding, give me a wag on how many clicks deep that looks.
Okay. She's gonna. Do I need to make a roll for this? Or no?
It's a wag. It's just
Mm,
A wild ass guess, my guy.
I'd say about 2, maybe 3 clicks.
alright. Then there's probably some sort of surface elevator nearby. This planet is probably too light a gravity for any sort of mining operations, so what are they doing down there?
Something illegal.
You think we can sell whatever it is?
Maybe
Well, if it's illegal, we can't sell it without getting in trouble. We could always
that's
break
just
it
like-
down into its basic materials and sell
Well,
it
I
raw.
mean, I know good places where they sell it.
No, we won't. My father used to say that if you need to hide what you're doing, you probably shouldn't be doing it.
Well, also, the thing is, if you're going to do something you're not supposed to do, be good at not getting caught.
Well, if someone as stupid as me can catch you, you're doing a bad job.
Yep. Or maybe it's just like some abandoned ruins or something.
Sure, abandoned ruins that are actively putting off enough of that wobbly bitness to letting me see it with a button.
Can Jade see anything in the vicinity of the structures to note any kind of elevator or some kind of vertical shaft?
Yeah.
No, there doesn't seem to be any sort of vertical shaft showing up on the scanner, but you do seem to be standing over at least one of the underground spaces that's distorting the magnetic field.
I don't see on the scanner immediately any kind of like elevator or some kind of like transport up and down.
The captain will give you a couple of pats on the head in almost a demeaning fashion. We can all see the scanner.
Oh, okay.
Fish!
With his what is it? With the air lacking as much density as it would, due to the small gravity and such, we probably could actually hear that.
No, remember the atmosphere is denser than normal.
Yeah, it's super
Oh, right,
thick
yes.
atmosphere. We're breathing soup.
So yeah, then we could definitely hear it.
Is that all?
Yeah.
Sounds like they're awake.
We probably need to get them psych warded after we get back to, a station or something. I worry for them sometimes.
Olin is staring determinedly at the ocean. The ocean. I don't know. He doesn't know if it's staring back, but he believes it's staring back.
It is an
Giving that
abyss.
intense look of, you ain't better than me. I'm better than you!
Bobby is in a mood today. Holy shit. Bobby, what has put you in this mood?
Been bored. I'm bored. Fishing,
yeah.
goddammit.
Okay. Random thing I just remembered. Did you guys know your thumb actually has 3 joints like the rest of your fingers?
No.
I did not. Well,
Yeah.
I guess technically, if you count it coming from the wrist.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's an actual joint like the rest of your knuckles. It's just so buried in flesh you never think about it.
Huh. Fuck. You got me staring at my hand now.
Did you know that you're breathing manually right now?
Shut face. Boxer.
And you will now find yourself breathing a little bit deeper because you think you feel the sense of oxygen deprivation settling deep
I'm
in your
going to
lungs.
stab you.
You know, you're not getting a full lung's worth of air at the moment. You should probably take a nice deep breath and clear out all that stank from the bottom of your lungs.
Shut. What the fuck?
And then, whenever you breathe real deep like that a couple of times, I always tend to, yawn for some reason.
Shut up!
And this whole time he completely didn't notice that he can feel his shirt constantly touching him.
I'm going to stab one of you! God damn it!
You ever notice how you can never find a comfortable spot for your tongue to rest in, and that you're always holding your jaw shut?
Not until fucking now!
Wait, was that the tag of my shirt or a spider? Oh god, it itches.
Oh, this shirt doesn't have
I generally keep my jaw open because I'm always suffering from allergies and can't breathe through my nose.
Oh, I know the feeling there.
Speaking of itching, don't you hate it when you got one spot that itches and you scratch it and somewhere else starts itching because you scratched that spot?
You poked the nerve cluster and now you feel it elsewhere. Like, what kind of
Can we move
crosswire
on?
bullshit is that?
Can we move on before I drive somewhere and stab someone?
At least you would visit, okay?
Yeah, your pants are gonna pull a hair on your leg.
No, they're not, because I'm not wearing pants.
You ever notice how dangerously close your teeth are to your tongue and your cheeks?
Mine always get my lip.
Every time I accidentally bite my lip, my cheeks. Yep, every time.
Every time.
Everything.
I am reminded.
So Jade's staring at the scanner screen.
Yeah,
No,
so
they're staring at the ocean.
there's no apparent shaft leading up, so you guys are gonna have to look around the area if you want to find a way down.
Well, I'm taking the scanner back from Jade because he doesn't trust her with it.
All right.
Raven was getting fixed to do light side of the beak, nibbles on her nose.
Vivian is going to continue following the cable to figure out where it goes. And that might lead to some sort of conduit or structure that goes down, likely near an access shaft, because it would be convenient to route your cables and such that way.
It would be so much more convenient to route your cables through the same shaft you used to get down instead of drilling 5 separate boreholes.
Especially that deep.
So Vivian's following their wire. What's everyone else gonna do?
Fish.
Jade is following Vivian and doing the same thing by overturning rocks, seeing what she can find under them with her stick. She's not using her
just
hands.
staring at Vivian's butt.
She's not gonna.
Totally not back there to stare at sexy exposed Tor, but
Nope.
Raven is going to follow Zitron, just kind of quietly observing.
Oh, by the way, what temperature has it reached out there? Is it comfortable?
it was 60 something a little before. It is now 73.
Oh, so that's super comfortable. She'd have resumed fluff.
Porcupine mode gauge.
Not like full on, but enough to let the air pass through. For
Yeah.
keep looking out my window, trying to tell whether or not that snow is sticking. It looks like it's not at the moment,
Ah,
but it's
dry snow, huh?
weird. Maybe I should get a better look.
Well, that's good news for us down here in Florida. That means it's gonna be cold tomorrow. I like that it's cold.
Yeah, it's just melting when it lands. But it's been snowing probably a good almost an hour, which is cool, but also cold.
Okay. Let's
Also,
see.
I think my outdoor thermometer is quite inaccurate because it's too close to the house or something.
My first inclination is to turn around with the scanner and follow it back to where I had found the indent.
The indent? Oh, where the foot track is?
With a foot, following my sticks.
The foot is like 15 minutes away, so that's gonna be a walk.
I got legs.
But there was a nearer one also, right?
Yep. Also marked with sticks on either side of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Not the first one you guys found, the other one.
The close one is. But I imagine he is watching the scanner as he does so.
Oh yeah.
Maybe he'll come across something if he does it.
God damn it, now I'm yawning.
You did it to yourself.
There we go. We're good.
Yows.
If anybody wants to do anything else 15 minutes, go for it. If not, I'm using those 15 minutes to waddle and walk and investigate the whole ass ground.
I'm going to fish.
Got it. Stay over there.
Raven is unintentionally mimicking Zitron, just like trying to learn from the wiser than he lets on gremlin.
Like studying his actions and learning.
Mm-hmm. The underground hides so many secrets.
Let's see. So you follow the cable, or the path at least that the cable follows, all the way to where the junction was, where the footfall was, and staring down at the planet, you can now see a slightly different angle of the structures that are underneath the ground, and they do seem to descend into the planet for quite a ways, at least from this angle.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the magnetic rings get too overlapped to really see too deep into the core, or even to the other side of the planet, but there's enough clarity in the area that you're looking at that you can tell.
You can tell that the dam though does go deep.
Yeah, it goes a few miles.
Now I must just find the elevator. Now shut up! Bothering me with your damn noises. I'm investigating something.
Do an investigate.
Yeah. I will give as many rolls as I must to accurately find the elevator. Now I'm nosy. Or a shaft we can put Raven down. That would also work.
Just a long,
What?
empty shaft.
Bird is not picking up on these malevolent intentions. Bird is simply following. Not even really paying attention. Raven, pay attention. This is important. Nope. Raven is not paying attention. They're just enjoying their walk, staying respectfully distant from the scanner gremlin.
Alright, so Vivian said they were following the cable. The cable terminates at the base of what at first looks to be a very large boulder that's sticking out of the earth. And on a much closer inspection, you can actually feel that there's air kind of passing through it, like it's made of styrofoam or something.
Like it's porous or something.
Yeah, like it's porous. If you're just looking at it, it looks like every other rock in the area, but like if you actually place your hand on it, you can feel it's it's cold in the same way that wind blowing through your fingers is cold.
In that case, what she is going to do is search for any kind of opening that might be there.
Sure, give me a perception.
Okay, let's perception. 53 plus, I think, 1, right? Yeah. So 54.
That's gonna be a fail, but only just. So you know that it's artificial, you just don't know how to open it.
Alright, so mark my fail, and she doesn't have a lot better to do. She's just gonna continue searching it.
Alright, we'll come back to you on that.
Yeah. So she's kind of like running her hands over the surface, looking for cracks, seeing if it lifts up, all that sort of thing.
Right. Wasn't Jade following Vivian?
Yes.
Yeah.
And, she was still using her stick to flip over rocks to see if she could find anything.
Oh, snow's sticking.
Okay, flipping over rocks. Hmm. More insects. Another
I guess
one of those mole crickets. Uh, a blood maggot apparently was under one of them.
Hmm.
And
She's gonna kind of poke. Well, not really poke it, but kind of like put her stick beside it and like kind of press the stick against the side of the blood maggot.
So she's gonna nudge it.
Yeah, she's gonna nudge it with her stick.
it writhes around against the stick and makes the same kind of scream that bull ants make when you press on them.
I'm gonna look that up real quick.
Oh
Have
yeah,
you ever
there's
heard of
ants
hissing
that scream
cockroach?
at you.
You ever hear a hissing cockroach?
Yeah.
Similar but small.
Uh,
The
Well-
best that most bugs can do is just to scree out of their little side lungs.
this bug just screamed at me, Vivian.
Well, don't pick on it.
Well, to be honest, if someone was to come over and poke me with a stick from a nap, I'd probably be a little grumpy.
Yeah,
I'd
she's
be
gonna.
upset too if a giant creature that has the power of a god came over, upturned my home, and then started pressing with their entire body against me. Captain says, walking over. What form of nature are you torturing now?
I don't know. Bug. I'm not gonna pick it up because I don't know if it'll go through the gloves or not.
Vivian
Probably.
is going to scan it since she's right there. Well, she's gonna scan each of the ones that she has not scanned yet.
Yeah, the bug appears to be some sort of larval form of a creature. It has many uh, genetic markers that indicate that it's probably getting ready to molt.
Hmm.
And are you going to scan anything else?
I suppose she could scan some of the rocks and stuff too, but she could, she could scan that one rock that she's trying to get through.
Hey, there's an idea. uh,
Brain.
Bren.
Bron.
Damn, I can't figure out what this is. If only I had some sort of tool I could scan it with.
I think Vivian has a bigger brain than me right now.
Okay. So the scan result comes back as Styriplas, which is a type of highly manufactured long chain polymer designed specifically as a type of atomic filter. Uh, very much like water filters, where it just traps particulates and only allows clean air to pass through.
So she's just gonna look at it, inspect it a little. Huh. This appears to be a filter.
Well, I suppose that would explain its coloration. Captain will go over and knock on it a couple of times. Looks like the rest of the rocks, but he'll go over to one of the rocks and dip his hands in the water and wipe it against the rock. Then he'll go over to the filter and wipe his hand against that. He'll pull his hand away and it's just absolutely caked with dust. Don't think anyone's touched it in a while.
Yep, it's rather dirty. Doing its job.
Filters get better the worse the condition they're in.
Yep.
Oh, again, given Raven's background, if they were there, they would suggest just smacking it a whole bunch and triggering a fire alarm. That would probably open doors and things.
And Jade, can I tap it with my stick? I don't think
It's probably safe.
Jade will walk over and give it a few taps in different places. Just like tap, 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 tap.
You get a sort of resonant metallic ping back every time you tap at it.
Yep. Fake rock.
I don't know. Jade is kind of a metallic ping when you tap on it.
Only when you tap on her arm.
I feel like that was a double entendre. Or did it ever word today?
Did this rune say that they were walking back to the group, or were they looking in the area that they're at?
I think they were going the other direction.
They were going to go look where they were, and then they were going to turn around and go back to the group, but I was waiting my turn.
Yeah. I just didn't remember, that's why I wanted to get a couple of things done before I jumped back to you.
Well, there you go. I was waiting my turn, and now we've jumped back to me. Now we can jump somewhere else if need be. Otherwise, I'm walking straight into the group.
Yeah,
And Olin
you've probably
actually
been
rolled
walking
something for
long enough.
fishing.
So you get back to the group around now. And Olian, I've been rolling. You're not catching anything yet.
One day he'll get something. One day.
Everyone seems to be gathered around a rock, kind of rubbing their hands across it, tapping it gently with a stick. It almost looks like they're worshipping it from a distance.
Scan. I'm touching that fucking rock.
You can just see Jade just tap, 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 tap.
No, Raven's raptor brain has engaged, and he's gonna chuck a small rock at it.
Okay, so you chuck a small rock at it. Give me a physicality roll.
43.
43, 75.
Oh no.
Yeah.
He overshoots by about a quarter mile.
Yeah, you chuck a rock at it. You thought you were used to the gravity by now, but no. The rock was a lot lighter than you thought it was gonna be, and it just goes sailing into the brush.
Annoyed bird sound bends down and picks up another rock. You stupid low-ass bullshit.
Give you another one.
54.
If you hit Jade, you're gonna get punched.
Hit Jade, I want you to get punched.
71. The rock kind of clatters between Vivian's feet.
Sorry. Damn gravity. I'm doing it again. Fuck, he's rolling so low today. 38.
38. 76.
Jesus.
Jesus. I haven't rolled below a 60. Okay. This particular rock kind of bounces off of another rock and comes up and, like, smacks off of the back of Jade's leg.
Ew.
Sorry.
Raven,
Sorry. I said I'm sorry. It wasn't on purpose.
stop throwing rocks.
No. I'm gonna chuck another one immediately after saying no. 57.
91.
Jesus! Why is the environment so dexterous?
You're not a Neanderthal.
This rock will go sailing past
right?
this rock will go sailing past the captain's head and will kind of reflexively duck a little bit. Jesus, could you try to hit the side of the barn this time?
That's what I'm trying! Also, I'm sorry. Oh,
You're making sure to mark these fails so that you level it up, right?
so that was like 4 throws. I'm gonna mark that down under physicality. It's 4 fails. Ah,
Jade's gonna use her robot arm to kind of knock on the rock. Thunk thunk.
Yeah, it reverberates metallically against the metallic thing impacting it. Get some, like, environment dust on your knuckles now.
Gonna kind of wipe it off on her shirt. Yeah.
Probably like volcanic dust, if the snow and stuff are anything to judge by.
Yeah.
Jade's gonna take an atmospheric scan of the area with her little scanny do thing, since the gravity's a little different. Maybe the atmosphere is a little different.
Carbon content is on the rise.
Captain,
Yeah.
this little thing says carbon is rising in the air.
Well, we did just pass by a planet. Probably got some volcanic activity going on the other side.
Yeah, probably.
Doki doki.
The Toki
Yeah.
cannot help you out here. Alright, I'm getting tired of waiting. The captain will reach into one of his satchels and pull out the Mark III cutting bar.
Hey, I was never given a fucking reveal of what the scan does for the rock, so don't you give me that shit.
Oh, I mean, you're using the magnetic scanner on the rocks, or did you pull out one of the other ones?
Of course I'm using a magnetic scanner. I can't stab it yet.
Okay, well, I mean, it doesn't affect the magnetic field at all. That's why you're not able to figure out where the shaft is.
I think Vivian is going to search the region again around it this time,
Alright.
using your scanner as well.
Give me a perception check.
Perception 60. I think that makes it a total of 61.
51. So, as the captain is pulling out their cutting bar, you actually notice that there's a section of the rock that actually flips up near the base, and underneath there's a little button.
So she's going to say, ooh, and then she's going to push the button.
Damn, just gonna push the button without telling anyone. Okay,
Jade,
well, gonna
Jade-
need everyone to make a dexterity check.
ah, Jesus. Oh no.
Vivian, do?
Yep.
Wait, what? What did you do? What?
push the button.
I had my headset on while scratching my ear. Who pressed what button?
Vivian,
Zitrun's actually far enough away to be safe, along with Raven, but like everyone around the rock, yeah.
22.
Glad Raven's far enough away. He rolled 2.
Vivian got an 87, so she must have been expecting whatever was coming.
Alright. So I got a 21. As the rock kind of, with a dramatic hiss, rises a couple of inches, and then in the next second just explosively pops off of its foundation. And the different sections of it that like kind of low poly cobble it together into a vague rock shape kind of all break apart into chaff and fly off in different directions. So if you got below a 21, you got smacked.
I got a 22.
Yeah.
It's one of those, it goes through your hair.
Grazed the nipple.
One of those you kind of fell back and it landed between your fingers moments.
Just
Fucking Ninja Cat over here just like I don't know. Name a movie of dodging between a bunch of bullshit that's moving way too fast. Just
Matrix.
matrixing. But 6 limbs and a tail.
Yes, that must have been quite a sight.
Luckily, the captain already had his cutting bar out and just sliced the bit that flew towards him.
Oh, Raven opted to use Zitrune as cover.
Citron's far enough away to be safe.
I mean, you got Zitrun over there who just, oh, I should probably use this, huh? And, actually takes that big ass plexiglass shield off his back. He just had that with him the entire time.
So
Sneaking close to you.
Vivian now is going to look and see if has exposed an opening.
It has exposed a hatch. The hatch has several thick holes drilled in it, almost like a manhole cover. And
Yeah, that makes sense.
it looks like it's got a little lip where you could hook a crowbar into and pull it aside.
She just laying on the ground with a piece of metal like between her fingers. Just okay. I'll 5. I got. I'll 10, 10 tits hair. Okay.
Alright, sound off.
I'm alive.
Damn.
Fish.
Just coming over the wind. Fish, fish, fish.
Just hear a slightly alarmed honk from over behind Zitrune.
Yep, I can confirm that there is in fact something down there. Good job, guys. Proud of you.
So Vivian is inspecting this thing, and she's going to look up at Jade. Didn't you have a pry bar or something?
Yeah. It's on the ship. I got a lining bar. Oh wait, no, that broke. I remember. I smacked
Oh.
a thing once and it broke.
So she's going to, well, first of all, she's going to see if she can get a hold of it in any way. Which is
Um,
probably dexterity.
Yeah.
All right, let's find out. Can she get a hold of it? 74. Does she have a bonus to that? No, so it's 74 even.
You just can't cram your fingers in there. It's
So
like the size of a screwdriver slit,
no, it's just too small.
It's too small.
Jade, Captain, should I go back to the ship and get a pry bar?
All this back and forth is getting really long. Why don't we just find a stick?
Jade looks at her.
Yeah, that would have been my next suggestion.
stick.
I think you've got a stick, don't you?
Jade holds out her poking stick. Stick.
That'll work.
So Jade's gonna see if she can use her poking stick to move
Ow.
this thing.
Yep, you can get your stick wedged in there, and putting some weight on it, it breaks the seal and it kind of cracks up. And Captain goes over and puts their fingers under the little ridge and motions for Vivian to get the other side.
She will do so. She'll use her claws to wedge in there, then lift.
Alright, give me a physicality roll.
This thing must be heavy if it's taking both of them.
Yeah, it's big.
Vivian.
It's big enough for a Tor to climb down.
Okay, well, she got 12. Does she have a bonus to that? +1, so 13.
Alright, well, you get it up a little bit, and man, this thing is heavy. It's gonna take more people to get this thing open.
All right, so I'm guessing that was a fail.
Yeah.
That's
That was a
true.
fail for both of them.
Ugh.
Can you come help them get this thing? I'm holding it up.
Oh, yeah. He'll put him scan button machine away. Oh. And then he'll lend a hand physically.
It's very heavy if it's that heavy on a light planet.
Oh my god.
If
Or,
you
or
imagine it's like
crazy idea is you're just
4
trying to
inches
break magnets.
solid metal.
Crazy idea, guys. It might have been friction welded in place.
Friction weld you in place.
Yeah. Wait, I need a row, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Ha.
All right, Vivian gets 44 plus 1 for 45.
Whoa, we're rolling moderate today. I got a 48 plus 1 is a 49. Let's go.
Let's go.
Nice.
Craven is rooting everyone on.
Nice to be in the middle of the road.
Individually, everyone fails once again, but together you manage to break the pressure welds and actually slide it open with a very, very loud creaking sound.
Like grating of metal on metal.
Oh, yeah. Imagine metal that's been rusted is heavy enough to pressure weld itself together and has sand and dust in the joints.
Oh,
It's complaining the entire way.
The whole way. It's squeaking and
Dang.
it sounds like you're crushing rust flakes and just.
Zitchard really doesn't like that sound, so he's going to opt to use his shield to wedge it while he, takes his little sprayer out of his. It's kind of funny, by the way. It's just like. Yeah, you ever pack something up in a camping bag that's too long for the bag and have like over half of it in it and just the last bit hanging out?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's like with his little, I guess, sweat thrower. He knows how oily his skin is and how oily the thing in it is. He will opt to use that to try and oil the damn thing up because that hurts his ears.
Well, I'm sure if they use it enough times, that'll definitely get rid of the squeak.
Yeah, exactly. Spray. Pushes on shield, squeak, spray.
That's great for you.
The squeaky wheel gets the shut the fuck up.
It's the silent juice.
Alright, so I'll mark my fail there.
The squeaky wheel gets the grease. No, the squeaky wheel gets replaced.
Oh, and
PB
change
Blaster.
mistake, because apparently that's not working.
Oh, so you're reeling the line in?
Yeah.
Alright, when you reel the line in, you've got about 5 different crabs holding on to the end of the bait.
Crap, 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 crap.
It directs his electricity through the line, so it shocks the living crap out of all the crabs.
Hold on, does nylon conduct electricity?
Not well.
No, I don't
What?
think so.
Not really.
It conducts static electricity, weirdly enough, just not directly electricity.
Well, in that case, maybe it would.
Well, but the water on it would be enough, I suppose.
Ooh, yeah, really salty ass water? Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, that would probably do it just fine.
Nylon does not conduct electricity. Oh, right there. It's an insulator.
Maybe that's why it generates static.
It generates static because of the way that it's constructed when it's turned into clothes. It's got a lot of gaps for it to build up charge,
Your shirt is a capacitor.
essentially. Okay. So yeah, I mean, you didn't catch a fish, but Olin, you pulled in some Rangoon.
Okay, since he can't use the rod to conduct his electricity, He uses his dang knife to conduct electricity and stab one of them so they all get fucked.
Hmm.
Stab, stab, stab. You
Well, are these
Very
rock
funny.
balls?
you summarily execute each of the once living beings.
Do I need to? I don't know if you guys saved one for alive, so I'll save one for alive.
Never a bad idea.
Yeah.
You are marked as alive. Cause see the rest of them, they're dead. You're alive. You want to fuck with me? Look at them. Look at them. Look at me. Look at them. Look at me. Living or dead? It's your choice.
Look
Fuck
at your
me.
man, now back at
Fuck
me.
them.
I'm on a horse.
I'm on a horse.
Olya
I'm gonna
has
vote.
begun negotiating with sea life.
Is this the same kind of crab that Jade encountered earlier?
Oh no, these actually look like crabs.
Oh.
Olin was told that they're poisonous crabs at one point, so he's making sure he don't fuck up.
Wait till you find the big crab.
So he puts
Giant enemy crab.
So he takes one of the dead crab and tosses it into the ocean using it as bait.
Oh, alright, so you're gonna take your knife, crack open the shell, and use some of the guts.
Yeah, the
Okay.
crab meat. Yeah.
The dark meat of the crab. That I don't understand people that eat the middle part of the crab. The claws are the best part.
That's where all the meat is. All the goop in the middle is how the meat stays alive.
They
I mean-
eat crab because I'm normal.
There's ways to prepare the middle bits, but like, eh.
Well,
So you guys have the hatch open now. There is a ladder that seems to be going down at an angle, almost like a step ladder.
Jade's gonna hold her atmosphere scanner down in the hole some and take a scan of the air in the hole.
It appears to be mostly similar to the air that circulates around in the ship. It's just a little closer to oxygen rich than some of the other environments. Some of the species that breathe mostly carbon rich or methane rich environments may have some trouble breathing.
Okay, the air down here is closer to what's on the ship, but it's oxygen rich. Do any of you breathe a mostly carbon atmosphere?
I think I'm gonna have to stay out of this one.
Well, you can breathe it, but you might just have a little bit hard time.
I breathe,
Hmm.
well, not specifically carbon, but methane and oxygen.
Zitron, how about you?
oh yeah. What about me? What?
The air down here is oxygen rich. It's like on the ship, but
Yeah.
it's a little more oxygen rich. Would you be able to handle it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Something about carbon, right? I can do that. Yeah, no problem. Just like home.
What's the nitrogen?
She's gonna scan the air again.
'Cause I think I'm like somewhere in the 45 to 50% range.
The nitrogen is actually in the 5% range. If you guys walk down there right now, you're going to have to focus on breathing because your body won't do it automatically.
I was informed of carbon.
Nitrogen is at 5%.
Oh. Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to stay up here.
Well, I know that I can breathe this pretty well.
What's the full composition? Is it nitrogen and carbon, or is it carbon and oxygen? I'm confused.
The composition of the atmosphere down there is mostly oxygen, 5% nitrogen, 2% carbon, trace amounts of oxidized iron, trace amounts of oxidized not carbon, copper. Copper. The fuck happens if you oxidize carbon?
Mhm.
I
You get that
think it
weird
just gets
burning tiny
puffy.
debris
You get
sensation.
CO2 and you get carbon monoxide. And
Ah, yeah.
She will
You definitely don't
relay.
want to breathe that.
All right. Well, no time like the present. And Zitron just gonna wrap him hands in some of the cloth from his pack, and we slide, and you can hear the faint of horns.
Wait, shouldn't we wait until we get some light? Okay, he's gone.
Oh, there he goes.
Oh, Raven would kind of quickly wander over to Jade. Here, take these. It might be useful. Hands are both in the infrared scope illuminator thingies.
See,
They're
there's
monoculars, but you know.
Yeah, gotcha.
I went for the fancy camera.
Captain will
It's going to
adjust
sleep
the
with
jacket
mine.
that he's wearing and step onto the steps backwards, rear end first, and then put his hooves off to the sides of the rails and just start sliding down.
Well, Vivian, will you be joining us, or are you going to stay up here with Raven?
I'll stay up here. I need methane also. So,
Okay. Alright.
God damn it, Raven. He reaches over with a little closed fist, like for a fist bump. Yeah, methane.
Yeah, fart air. And she will make sure she got her gloves on, and, you know, everybody else is sliding down, so she's going to slide down as well.
You say that, but there are species that fart oxygen.
Sliding down the thing after putting the expensive equipment in her bag and putting the bag on her back.
There will be a night sight filter on this motherfucking camera, or I'll break it.
Alright, so outside air, inside air.
Mhm. So how long does it take all of them to slide down the ladder?
Ooh, that's a good 15-minute ride, going slow enough that you don't, burn yourselves.
Yeah, or you can do what Zitron did and cover your hands and go fast.
I mean, Jade's got her gloves on.
Yeah.
Like his feet can hurt because he's got hooves.
Cat would
Horns
feel
are a
better.
little rattled though.
It is a very dark descent into the pitch blackness, and you start to kind of worry about ever hitting the bottom or potentially just falling off into nothingness until you see a dim, glowing red light at the bottom that gets closer. And at the bottom, there's a large platform that appears to be set on some sort of central gear mechanism that would lift it up to the top of the shaft, with a couple of notches carved into the plate where it sets into tracks on the top of the tunnel, or, the ceiling, to keep it in line. And on either side of the platform appears to be a sort of uh, airlock of sorts. It's a
Hmm.
It's not exactly the same style of sliding doors as the space station, but you can tell from the very defined groove down the middle in a perfectly vertical orientation that the doors definitely slide sideways.
I see. Also, I don't know why I'm trying to use night sight. I have a flashlight from the station
You do, yes.
adventure. Yeah, okay, never mind. I could use that, I guess. But the camera's still gonna be needed for evidence. Okay. Flashlight. Oh wait, hold on. Camera with the flash, then flashlight. He's documenting everything.
captain comes sliding down a couple of minutes later, kind of clatters off to the side with their hooves, kind of trying to regain their balance and failing, and ends up just kind of slumping against the wall. Who designs a shaft that long?
And
I think it's some kind of elevator.
From the top of the fucking shaft. Ah!
a minute or two later, Jade will land, and she's gonna plop down on the ground. Oh, my legs and arms.
Yeah, you think your arms hurt now. Wait till you have to climb back up.
You need me to carry you or something?
No, just
No, I
give
mean
everything.
back up. I'm not carrying you right now because I'm.
No,
Well, you know what? We'll fix this. But and Zitron will kind of use him flashlight to point at the general platform. Pretty sure that's supposed to send this up.
huh.
Captain
Well,
will look around. Well, it looks like a mechanism of some kind. Probably been
Jade,
depowered forever.
Got these
if
on
there,
either side of me.
if there
Now we
even is a
can.
power, Jade's gonna pull out one of the red, like the little things, and put it up to her eye and look through it.
One of the
Binoculars.
infrared sensors. Yeah.
Yeah,
As an
You just said
illuminator.
red.
Just
I had to think through it.
yeah. The infrared illuminator, and she's gonna look through it like an NVG monocular.
All right. Looking around, you're not seeing anything in the infrareds except for the heat signatures of the people that you're with. But there is a small triangular slot off to the side of the door that actually has a little bit of IR emitting from it.
Citroen, point your flashlight over to the side of the door right there. There's a little bit of a IR signature coming from it.
Zitroon turns and aims fucking flashlight at finger so they can see where it's pointing, and then at the door.
All right.
Hmm.
You point your
Sunlight.
you point your flashlight at the door, and nothing really seems to happen.
Jade's gonna walk over to the door to see if she can get a better look at what it is.
It's just a little triangular hole next to the door. Has some IR coming out of it, pretty short range. And, it almost looks like you could slot a knife in there.
Jade's gonna reach into her bag and pull out her knife and slowly slide the knife in.
Uh, the door suddenly hisses with a mechanical rack and pinion system, and once it breaks the age weld between the doors and starts opening up, it accelerates until it slides out all the way, revealing just an archway into a long hallway.
Mm. Well then, she's gonna look through the IR scope down the hallway, see if there's any heat signatures.
There does not appear to be any heat signatures.
I got no heat signatures.
But I have a
Down the
flashlight.
Yes, down the hallway, please. Point it, please.
Okay. No. You need to understand something. You don't need the eyeball scope when there's a flashlight that will illuminate an area for your functional irises.
Yes, but I want to make sure that there's no infrared signatures before we flash a light on something that might at
I'm
us.
starting to seriously doubt if Jade knows how the light spectrum works, despite having been in the military. Okay, yeah, sure. I mean, if you really wanted to find all the finite details, you'd actually use this little ray spectrum scanner on my hip that could see more advanced of it. Fine. He'll illuminate the hallway and add more thermal radiation.
effectively flashbangs.
It's not.
Alright, so this whole time the captain's been fiddling in one of his satchel packs, and there's a mechanical click from behind as he turns on a shoulder-mounted light. Alright,
That is hilarious. It's adding heat to the environment from the excitement of photons.
uh, let's go
A lot
find
of
out what's
flashbang
going
lamps
on
now.
down here.
Saturate the orange.
Make sure your psychic shielding is cranked up pretty high. If this
Don't
is a
have
mantis
one.
hive,
Doesn't really matter. I didn't get to buy one because nobody informed me that I would need a brain band. In hindsight, I probably should have just bought one. I should have just bought a lot of things. Fancy architecture. You want light, you gotta go at his pace because he is a nosy motherfucker.
Yeah. Jade
oh
is
yeah,
staying like behind Zichun and the captain so that they can illuminate the way in front of them.
captain's taking up the rear.
Okay, so I guess she's between Zichun and the captain with her little atmosphere scanner in hand.
I gotta run amp camp it.
Okay.
I shall return.
You're walking down the hall, and a lot of the uh, wall panels seem to have fallen away from disuse or seemingly being purposefully pulled away. And it exposed a lot of the wires running back and forth underneath. Um,
Mhm.
a lot of the wires are frayed in these exposed areas. It almost looks like individual strands of the copper have been stripped out, or long sections of fiber optic have been torn away. It doesn't look like it was forcibly removed. It looks like it was uh, repurposed somewhere else.
Well, there's that. Photograph. Alright. That's either concerning or, good? I don't know. I'm going to continue this way. I really don't know what the hell we're doing down here except exploring. Oh, excuse me. Looking for things in which to liberate and sell. Right?
Exactly. This could be a
Yeah.
huge payday for us.
Jade's gonna take a
True.
quick scan of the atmosphere while they're walking down the hallway.
It's gone up to 10% nitrogen, but you still have to focus on breathing.
It's up to 10% nitrogen. Jade just breathing a little bit heavier than normal.
Don't forget to count. Make sure you're actually taking breaths when you need it.
Yeah.
Captain's
Yes.
kind of scanning the light around the environment as they're walking. Eventually, this long tunnel will end at another door. It's got that same knife-shaped hole on the side.
Jade will, scooch around Zitron. Excuse me. And she will slide her knife into the hole again.
Nothing happens.
Hmm. Huh. Strange.
Maybe you're too short.
She's gonna kind of, lean down a little bit to get a better look at the hole.
It appears to just be an IR sensor on the other side.
This thing's got an IR sensor. Why would a door like this?
The Troon is just going to stick his ring finger into the hole.
It's a little too small for that.
Kinky.
That's not your ring finger. And it's
Yeah,
also too small for that.
damn it. I mean, you can try.
Try
Well, his
your
knife has a girthy blade.
try your tongue. It's squishy.
Do not.
Just clamps on a tongue.
Mm,
Jade's gonna, bring up the. Well, no, she's not. Captain.
Hmm.
This. I think this thing's got a little IR sensor on it.
So wave your flashlight in front of it a few times.
just stick flashlight into the against the little thing. Just stick.
Uh,
Captain says wave. They just push.
so you press the light up against the sensor. Nothing happens.
Oh wait, hold on. Waves like scanning an item at Walmart.
As soon as you move the light away, the door opens.
Ah, look at that. It just needs a little bit of heat. Keep your knife in your boobs. Maybe that'll get the blade warm enough.
And no, because if I fall, I don't want to cut my titty open.
What the fuck? I don't mean with it open, you dingus.
It's
You
a
have.
fixed blade.
I would like to point out you have an infrared flashlight too, so you can also open doors.
I take it nothing jumped out at you guys? Since I'm,
Not that.
making sure things aren't following us.
Not yet. Not yet. That's why my head is actively tilted at an angle, so if something does jump out, it doors itself for me. Of course, if it's a human in distress doing it out of panic, I might, for a split second, feel bad that I just robbed someone of their family member. But natural selection. Don't
Jade's
jump out
gonna
at weird aliens.
look down the hallway they came from with the IR scope, and see if there's anything back down that way.
Um, Other than a slight increase in the temperature from you guys moving through it, nothing really seems different.
Okay.
What about with the fancy ray spectrum scanner? Can I use that as like a navigation tool, like a map? Because it'll show me what doesn't give the weird pingies and what does give the weird pingies.
I mean, a little bit, kind of. It's
I'll
better
take
than
kind of.
nothing.
I mean, we got flashlights and a knife
Yeah.
and a Lexan shield and a sweat thrower with a few Molotovs on hand. God, if he falls, it's gonna be an interesting thing. I feel sorry for whatever he might land on. Gonna get stabbed, drunk, and crushed all at once. And then it'll be made horny from all the fucking sweat in that thing. Oh, that'd be a horrible experience.
Burning alive!
Moving on from the implications of Zitron falling on something with his pack on his back. Down the
Jade,
hole we go.
through the door we go.
My phone is being buzzed. I'll be right back.
Okay. You step into a large central room, or a large circular room, I should say, with several mechanical armatures on the ceiling on tracks. The whole ceiling looks like it rotates almost like a what are those things called? It's like the turntable that turns trains so that they can store them in different warehouses.
It's called the
Turntable.
Is it just called a turntable? That's so boring.
Yes.
Yep.
I gotta dip
Sorry.
out for a few minutes to go help with something.
Okay.
Oh, best of luck, friend.
So, yeah, they're set on a turntable in the ceiling, and each of the tracks leads to another door. There's about 8 of these doors in this area.
Hmm.
And each of the doors actually has a little window in the middle with a big rubber seal through the center part where the door splits.
Jade's gonna go over to one of the doors and look through the window with the IR monocular. I keep wanting to call it a scope.
Alright. The infrared is returning that it is really, really cold past this door.
So apparently it is really cold on the other side of this door, Cap.
Yeah. I've heard about places like this.
What do you think it is?
Deep storage.
But what are they storing?
Mantids.
Mantids? Are you serious, boss?
Yeah.
So what do we do?
Well, we find out where the central computing center is, and we either blow it up or get one of the mantids to help us free themselves. The only
And if they
time a facility like this would be in a state like this is when it had an overqueen that either was overthrown during the Mantid revolutions or it died for some other reason and their computer systems took over the role. In either case, the lower castes would be put into a deep freeze and essentially sentenced to a prison life, collecting raw materials, servicing the hive for whatever needs happened to arise, whatever gets transmitted. After the revolution, a lot of the links to these places were cut off, so the system just keeps processing whatever the last request was, waiting for a new dock-in request. Any
Okay.
mantids we encounter, as the system is likely waking them up currently, looking at the state of this place, it's probably failing on about 20% of them. Cell crystallization, turning them to slush from the deep freeze. Errors in the genetic code with this ichor that's getting injected into them. Resurrection chambers, cooking them too fast and burning them alive.
think any of them that make it out alive are going to be hostile?
Most definitely. The computer systems work on the same way that their overlords did. They're gonna psychically interact with them and essentially take away their free will. It'll give them some basic commands. Repair whatever damage has been done to the facility. Wake up a higher in command to figure out more complex situations like this one. Maybe wake up a few warrior caste.
So if we run into any of the mantids, we're probably in danger.
Yeah. Okay, well, this is good information. I hate to say it, but I think we should head topside. Because we're going to need stronger psychic shielding to deal with this place. And we probably need to dust off from the planet before this place wakes up fully. we're essentially standing in the middle of an ant nest.
Yeah. Jade's gonna go over to another door and look behind it with the IR scope. Something about this place just doesn't feel right.
I don't like it either. You can actually see a light that's on at the very end of the line, and one of the mantids from the cryopods actually steps out and is looking around. You can see it's very slow to move its head with the large almond-shaped black eyes peering around without pupils. It's two large scythe-like arms extending out in front of it in a slow stretch with two grasping arms underneath, flexing the fingers. It sort of stands with a little bit of hunch, kind of bobbing its whole body up and down a little bit, limbering up its legs.
And Jade's gonna, once she sees it, she's gonna pull away. Captain, if we are gonna get out of here, we need to go now. Because I saw one of the mantids at the end of that hallway, and it's awake.
Just one.
That's all I saw.
Then the facility is definitely active. If it's just woken up, its psychic link isn't going to be active yet. If we had a mantid with us, maybe we could communicate it, but since we don't, I'm not going to risk it.
Yeah.
And he'll kind of put a shoulder on Zitrun, not a shoulder, a hand on Zitrun's shoulder, and he'll motion with a head tilt for Jade to follow him as he backs out of the room.
Jade will follow with the captain.
The captain will take the shoulder-mounted light off and flick it a couple of times in front of the slot in the door, and it will slowly shut. And then he'll dim the light so that it makes very little in the way of evidence that they are traveling. And he'll cover up Zitrun's light, and he'll very carefully walk back the way that they came to the platform.
Yeah. Jade is following close behind the captain and Zitrun. Every once in a while, she's gonna look back at the door with the IR sensor to make sure nothing is trying to sneak up on them.
Give me a perception check.
Oh boy.
Are the mantids cold-blooded?
They're insectoids.
So yes. Unless they're in a large mass, then for some reason they become warm.
What is that? Oh, my first good roll of the night. 85.
19. So it's kind of hard to see at the distance that you're at now, but you can definitely see one of the times that you look back while walking down the hall, you do see a mantid walk past the door for, if only a moment.
Captain, we're gonna have to pick up the pace.
They shush you as they step past the airlock door, flash their light in front of it a couple of times to close it, and then race you to the top, and he takes off up the stairs.
Dave! Wait! No! That's not fair!
Well, they're in a panic state, running.
What about Zitrun?
Zitrun's drooling, they're following.
Okay.
Olin is fishing while everyone's running.
Jade is gonna start climbing up the ladder after the captain gets a little bit of distance away.
Is this a bad time to say that Raven's been throwing rocks at the filter?
the pieces of filter.
Yes, just tink. Tink. Tink.
What's Vivian been doing?
I think she's probably been staying right around it and scanning anything possibly new.
Alright, give me a perception check.
Okie dokie. 30. I think it's at a +1. Yes.
96.
Okay, so that's a fail.
Yeah. The dice say no. You've already scanned everything in this environment.
So she's going to just kind of remain in the area, uh, pacing and fretting.
You'll hear the clattering of hooves on metal echoing up the tube.
Oh, okay, let's clear the way. It sounds like they're coming on up.
Let's hope it's them. Raven has jumped back a ways as well, but has readied their short sword. Just nope. That better be them. I don't want to fight in this low ass gravity.
God, I can just imagine Vivian fighting in this. Sploing. See you in a few minutes.
God, when she came back down though, she'd be coming down at the speed of fuck.
Well, you know that damage was calculated assuming you were on an Earth-like planet, so it'd probably be a lot less damage, actually.
Yeah, it would probably be the same damage as if she were in a regular environment. Just, no. So basically, it would be like a normal jump in a regular environment instead of a super jump.
Mm-hmm.
She'd be falling slow.
Oh God, but it would always catch individuals off. It would catch individuals off guard because they'd forget that the cat just left.
The cat went into orbit.
Meow.
Except for the fact that her abilities basically make her uh, leaps instant.
Mm-hmm.
So after achieving orbit, she'd just be like, bam.
She just no clips back to the position they want to be in.
Anyone flying by would just see cat and then gone. What the hell, cat? And then gone. What's going on?
Boing.
But Jade probably, make herself breathe more as she's, doesn't plan on making any stops when going up this ladder.
Hey, a good thing about oxygen-rich environments, your muscles aren't going to be bitching at you.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, give me some of that good stuff.
You don't have to remember to breathe as much. It's probably still a good idea, but...
Yeah. She wants to make sure she is breathing so she doesn't.
Yeah,
You know.
you hyperventilate though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do
But-
eventually make it out the top. The captain kind of grabs onto the top stair as he swings his rear end out and kind of skids around the side of the hatch.
Jade's gonna be like a little bit behind him. She's gonna like crawl out the top. Okay.
Closing door.
Closing door.
Closing door. Vivian is going to begin hauling on the door to close it.
Jade will help Zitrun out before they close the door.
Raven is opting to jump on top of the door, trying to help get it closed too.
Alright,
Okay.
give me a physicality roll.
Really, Vivian? Okay. Wait, do I have a bonus to that? Okay, 10.
17. Raven twists his ankle and falls the fuck off. Just,
So, yeah, that's 2 fails, and luckily the captain has a little bit of adrenaline rush, so they're able to make up for it. But they would have also failed if you guys didn't help. The door squeals in protest as it shuts with a clang.
Okay.
Okay, we're dusting off.
Yep. Race back to the ship.
is it that bad?
Mm-hmm.
Manted.
Oh, that is bad.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's collect all in.
Yep. And Jade's gonna look at the captain, race you back to the ship, and she's gonna run.
Hey Vivian, would you mind giving me a ride?
I'll get Zitrone.
Okay. Jade, you want to stop for Olin?
I'll yell at him on my way.
Captain will place a hand on Vivian's front shoulder as they bound off, and then, holding on very tight as Vivian uses their teleport.
Just poof.
Spring.
Jade thinking, ha ha ha, I'm in front of them, and then just Vivian poof in front of them.
And she's gone.
Vivian just endermanning across the scenery.
Hey, wait a minute.
See you at the ship.
Hey, that's not fair.
Wait a minute. Why is Raven and Zitron catching up with Jade? One of them is drunk running.
As Jade passes Olin, she's gonna yell, "Get back to the ship!
Why? I want this fish, god damn it!
If you don't want to die, get back to the ship!"
Fine. Rolls up the damn fishing rod, grabs his shit, tries to get the crabs, but figures, this is too many fucking crabs. Grabs like 4 of them. One living one. Looks disappointed.
My disappointment
Raven.
is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
Oh, here comes Raven. Get in the ship, don't die.
But my vacation!
Your vacation can wait, death is coming.
Death is always coming.
This is
He
more
pouts.
immediate. Get in the ship.
He pouts. Yeah, fucking always. Fuck, I'm trying to get fuck.
Once Jade
Someone
gets
help
back,
me with not a cataclysmic event happening.
she's gonna kind of, lean against the side of the ship and look at the turtle. Hey, we found mantids.
One's haunted.
Oh, that's why the captain jumped up to the 2nd floor instead of taking the stairs.
I know my phone because I'm not going to be at my computer and I don't want to miss the last of the session. I died. Olin? Damn.
No one died. We found mantids.
You what?
We found mantids.
The mantids
Oh,
were
cool.
a little more awake than the captain expected.
Awesome! I knew me readying to stab something would pay off.
You're being hauled along by a burb and a rope. Rope was tied around Gremlin waist and pulled along.
Yeah, the captain has made the executive decision to dust off.
That is awesome. Now, hear me out. Flammable sweat.
Mm-hmm. And just as a precaution, Jade is gonna go and get on the flat gun on top of the ship. Just as a
So you buckle yourself into the seat, and it kind of cinches you into that weird semi-gel that it's made out of. Kind of compresses around your legs as you spin up into position and start aiming the flak gun.
Alright. Alright, Captain. I'm on this just in case we need it.
We might. That door's not going to slow him down a whole lot.
Yeah. She's gonna aim the guns in the direction that they came from.
Alright, with everyone on the ship, I'm going to go ahead and play the entry sounds because I haven't had a chance to make the leaving the planet sound yet. So, if it sounds the same, that's why.
So, just so you know, my other version, the other character I was thinking about playing, because you had told me a lot of this backstory prior to the session, that was going to be basically the ancient AI that was slowly rewriting a poor innocent Warframe.
one of their directives would have been to start a fight with mantids as soon as possible because all they remember is we're at war. They must die.
That's humanity's whole thing, pretty much. The enemy only exists to be destroyed.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna run that by you. Is like, okay, what are your thoughts of an AI that lost a chunk of its brain, went into a coma, and wake backs up way after everything's totally okay with everyone, but they, however, are extremely racially prejudiced to everybody,
Yeah.
i.e., Walter.
The
Yep.
AIs hold strict adherence to their programming. They only do exactly what the code tells them to, and nothing more. So, if it was designed to kill the mantids during the Mantid War, that's all that it'll be able to do.
I read a biology book, so I know 182,000 ways to make my thumb hurt your vagina. What?
I'm pretty
That
sure
came
that
out wrong.
anyone would have seen Jade's face. They probably never would have seen her with a more serious look, like almost like a switch was flipped, and she's in full combat readiness mode.
We
could have used the kitty
GPU.
What?
Oh, sorry. This would have been a real opportune time for Vivian to have a ZPU on her back.
Well, I leave you all for your things.
Yeah. Okay, so as soon as you hit orbit, you can hear the choir again.
You hear that, guys?
Oh,
Yes. The default of Zitron, as soon as he snaps out of drool, is just slash at the air.
oh God. Raven is just at the end of the room. Oh, wait, hold on.
That would have been literally. That would just be his sixth sense. Is something's wrong? Stab it. Good thing Raven was at the end of a rope. They might have accidentally got stabbed.
Just up against the wall, the rope is pulled tight. Just. Oh, Jesus, fuck.
I'm awake.
Good, put that away.
Where am I right now?
You're on the
We're back
dramatic
on-
exit.
We're on the ship. There are mantids. Don't stab me. I was trying to save you.
Oh, cool. Zitron just disappears and goes and climbs in the other gun.
The rope just kind of falls slack. Wait, how did you do that?
Lubrication.
So, yeah, you guys are in orbit. Choir sounds. And,
Makes the choir sounds.
let's see. Jay, from the flak gun position, looking down at the planet, you can
Shoot the
see,
engines.
Don't shoot the engines.
I'm not gonna shoot the engines.
You
Oh,
can see a
don't.
singular purple torch right around where the landing location was.
Yeah, Cap. There's a purple light coming from where we landed.
Yeah, that's why I said we were dusting off as quick as we were.
Yeah.
That singular
what-
torch turns into several.
There's a bunch of them now.
What exactly do they mean?
They're waking up.
Yeah, we just woke up an entire mantid hive.
Hive.
There's nothing we can do for them with our current loadout. We need to bring in some mantids with us if we want to communicate with them, or some sort of neural disruptors or psychic shielding strong enough to pulse down into the crust and disrupt whatever systems controlling them.
This sounds like a job for the Terran military.
Do we have an emergency distress beacon with an emphasis on aggressive mantids?
We have a general distress SOS beacon, but anyone can respond to those.
Can we
We-
reprogram it to say mantids?
No.
Damn it.
The only thing that we could do is probably like put out an APB looking for any like mantids that are in the area, but I doubt that. Jade's gonna, keep an eye on the planet to make sure nothing comes swooshing up at them.
So what exactly is causing all this music?
Sounds pretty, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
It's
Sinister.
evil.
Sinister undertones.
You're not entirely wrong. This is their old way of communicating with each other. For us, it sounds like singing, but for them, it's highly compact data streams.
A symphony of death.
You don't think the VI could translate it, do you?
VI already tried to. It's old mantid. Even if we had a mantid with us, they'd have a hard time translating it.
We would need someone as old as Mary.
Yeah.
Zitron inadvertently realizing he had a good idea. Completely oblivious to it, should I say.
Is it true? You're right.
But what did I do? I can't blame that
Mary.
on me.
No, you had a good idea.
I had a little
Mary.
lamb.
No, Mary is that old. Maybe she can decrypt it.
She would have the relevant data banks.
Would she be able to transmit information back?
I think we'd have to go actually get a port with Mary right now. Currently, Mary is operating in a closed loop. We'd have to open up a link and install it on the ship.
And for that, we would have to have a giant brain.
Well, not necessarily a
nothing
giant
wrong.
brain. You just need to create a quark entanglement with one of the I/O ports for the brain and one of the ports for the ship.
Oh, okay, so we wouldn't need to make another construct.
No, we don't need anything quite that big. I already have enough AI on the ship.
I see nothing wrong with inviting Mary to be a resident on the ship. I think
I'm sure she gets lonely.
Well, the only problem with it is it's attack and what's the fucking god damn it? I always turn into a babbling idiot when I'm stressed. It turns into a point of attack if we open up the loop. So it's exposing Mary, but Mary would get to come with us in a sense.
It's a shame we can't just put her on the ship, but I doubt we have the power and life support requirements for a Jupiter brain.
She
And
wouldn't
it's a
survive
shame
any
that
of the hyper jumps this thing goes through. The type of wormhole jumps that the station goes through are special. It's less moving the station and more moving the core, and then the rest of the station appears there.
does it move space, or is that a myth that things move space around?
So the ship that you're sitting in, it moves through space. The station moves space around it. It's two different types of warp. This ship doesn't have the power output or the technology to do that. It's very old Terra technology. Pre-Diaspora, even.
I see.
What concerns me is that they've managed to stick a hell drive on that station.
No, it's fine. People are always the most intuitive when they know what they're doing is illegal.
Yeah. Speaking of illegal, you guys ready to head back to port?
As
It
ready
seems
as we
logical.
were.
Further the better, right?
Just wanted to make sure everyone was strapped in before we took off.
Yep, I'm in the gun.
Vivian is going to find herself a place to do exactly that.
Probably the navigation consoles underneath.
That is quite possible.
Bird has found themselves in one of the information terminal seats and strapped in.
Comfortably where I
Right.
Oh wait. Buckling. There we go.
So, Captain will sing the hyperspeed song.
Ah! Whose mic is getting crunched?
That would be Zitron.
Ah, damn it.
Captain sings the relevant song. Ship gets a golden glow about it. Uh, frequency travels from the back of the ship to the front, and you start traveling up the sub light speed speeds and at normal warp or standard warp, and then you transition to C plus velocities, and the warp shakes go away. Gonna need everyone to roll D100. See if your psychic shielding holds out.
Bird's psychic shielding
Okey-doke.
is still on high. It's amazing they don't have a headache right now.
So
89.
she got a 23.
Woo, 26.
Damn. Citron just
So
barely
Vivian and
squeaked
Zitrun are
by.
having a good time.
He literally has no protection. He's just kind of there.
Oh, now you roll high, you damn bird. 98.
98, yeah. No, you're too freaked out to be bothered by warp fuckery. But Vivian, you're having kind of a hard time of it. I got a 25. It's not, you know, amazingly off-putting, but it's like, you got a queasy stomach.
Time is moving real slow and my heart is beating backward.
That'd be
Essentially.
concerning.
Instead of going to thump the thump, it's going to th th th.
It's gonna boop goop. It's going goop boop.
Yeah. Oh, he
Oh,
did.
he did.
All right, we're good. Okay.
Achipapa.
Next session, we'll pick up with the party
Go stab the neck
docking
of
back at
the
the outpost station. They'll all get paid in accordance to what research they were able to accomplish, and the findings that they were able to make.
Citroen even went idle, taking pictures of what they found, and kind of like, but not good pictures. They're there, but they're like somebody thinks they're being quirky with a camera at a 45-degree angle.
It's just amateur.
Every photo is taken 1 degree off.
He's got plenty of. Oh no, it sticks.
Oh no, the sticks!
Damn.
Dumb.
Yeah.
I still think if you let Citroen alone in the vents, he could have killed them all.
No.
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 He would have killed all of them. Turns out it's not even Citroen. It's just like this multi-generation of asexually reproduced monstrosities. Like the raptors from Jurassic Park.
The
Even if you
monstrosities.
had Thought Destroyer, you'd have a hard time with that.
Thought Slayer is just meant to be an anti-thought machine. Not to be confused with Thought Machine.
And not to be confused with God Thought.
So, speaking of monstrosities, Shadow,
Oh, God. You might
you
want to stop
have.
recording, Dar.
Hmm.
They're about to be, but there's gonna be irrelevant to the campaign stuff.
I was going to keep it ambiguous.